Hello everyone, welcome to my launch video. Okay, I am very excited to talk to you about a new program that I'm launching. You read about it in the post that linked you here, but I am launching a program that is very dear to my heart. It's called Freedom to Thrive 2017 because that is what I want for myself and for you, if you so desire it, in 2017. And I just wanted to give you a little bit of information about why I'm launching it, why now, why it's important. And in this video and the 3 or 4 videos that I'm gonna be putting out in the next few weeks, I'm gonna be sharing openly, honestly, about my life. I do that anyway in all of my videos, but this in particular is going to be about the things that have made a difference to me the most. Oh my God, how can one get emotional right away? It's so silly. Let me explain to you what this new program is, why it means the world to me, what it's all about. So, for the last, almost going on now a decade, like since 2006, when I moved to Boston to study photography, and since 2008, when I moved to New York with like all the biggest dreams I had, and I didn't know what I wanted to do actually, but I just knew that I felt big inside, and I had a story to tell, and I had messages I wanted to share, and I had ways I wanted to live, and I wanted to do so much. And in 2008, 2009, I started working with, I applied to work with Seth Godin, who was running his alternative MBA at the time. And I ended up getting into that and working with Seth for like those 9 months or 6 months. And it was like the hardest, craziest thing ever. I will link to my TEDx talk where I talk about the transition from, I was in med school before actually. I was in medical school, and then I applied to graduate school in clinical psychology. I got into both after trying really hard. And then I went to photography school, and then I somehow started working with Seth, and I'll link to the story where I actually tell you how I hopped the Chinatown bus from Boston to New York to go hear him speak, and how getting that internship sort of ignited within me what I wanted to do. Actually, before getting that internship, I was listening to him speak, and he was talking about connecting people in tribes, and I was like hysterically crying in that audience because it was so much what I wanted to do. And people were like, that's an insane person, because I was. And since then, over the last 10 years, it has been literally every day has been like a risk in who am I? How do I want to show up in the world? What do I want to do? How do I want to live? And so for the last decade, I have pursued my own career, each time without a roadmap, making decisions based on my intuition, sometimes making decisions out of fear. We all know how those work out. Making decisions to forward myself and my life and my dreams, sometimes being confused about what those were. Let's be honest, a lot of the time being confused about what those were, and figuring out how I wanted to live. How do I want to run my own business? How do I want to thrive in my life? This is the reason why I'm talking about thriving in 2017. Literally for the last decade, I have studied my life, studied success, studied mentors and people who have inspired me, and I've learned a thing or two. One hopes we learn. I've also fallen a lot of times and made so many mistakes, of course, and I learned the most from those mistakes. But literally from med school to photo school, from graduate school to photo school to working with Seth, then we worked together after that internship, we worked together for a few years actually, and I worked with him understanding entrepreneurship and marketing and business and publishing, and it really sort of laid the foundation for my world opening up and what was possible for me. But then I also stopped doing that and I started running my own business since 2012. I've been running my own business 5 years, 5 hard years. Russell Simmons says you're an intern in your own business for the first 5 years. I mean, some days I still feel like it, and other days I'm on top of it and I know what to do and I have learned so much. So all of this culminates in this program called Freedom to Thrive, which is an 8-month program about what it means to thrive in your business and in your life. What I mean by thriving is, listen, life doesn't stop giving you hard things. Over the last decade, it's not like it's been easy to pursue the things I wanted to pursue. I've been through burnout. I've been through heartbreak, crushing heartbreak. Excuse me. I've been through career like anxiety. I've had health problems. And burnout has been one of those. But also there's been others. I've had to deal with like having really shitty relationships with my family and my friends while I was going through transition. I've had to heal from trauma. I've had to heal from grief. I've had to overcome the things like heartbreak and stuff and still feel vital. I've had to learn how to manage myself. I've had to learn how to set boundaries. I've had to understand what self-love is. I've had to learn what it means to build friendships. I've had to learn how to operate in a workplace where I feel a little bit uncomfortable or a lot uncomfortable. Fear, anxiety, confidence, heartbreak, relationships, boundaries, productivity, time management, sales, like all of the things that I've had to learn in my life. This is what I want to put in this program. This is what's in the program. So Freedom to Thrive is really about what over the last decade I have learned to thrive in business, in my personal life, just in myself. There's 3 components to it. The first is self, okay? So what does it mean for me? Well, let me explain to you the higher level. 3 components: self, business and work, or vocation, like where your deep gladness meets the world's deep need. Oh, I love that phrase. And then relationships, okay? Which to me are the most important things in life. It's yourself, your work and what you do every day and what you're here for, and then relationships with others. Those 3 areas. And the way that I go about it is I first deal with self, because that's the foundation. How do you manage your energy? How do you have boundaries within your own life? How are you living with ease and flow? What is pleasure? I had to literally take a course on pleasure and it's not just related to sexuality. It's related to how are you leading a pleasurable life? Okay, what does that mean? How are you happy? Are you getting the things that you want? Do you know how to like get your desires met? Whether that's business or regular life. What else with energy management? Self-care, everyday practices, systems and routines, a morning routine, a connection routine with family and friends, literally your telephone routine. There's so many phone calls we need to make, so much incoming. How are we managing all of that? That is what it means to build the foundation of self, and also how to go through transition, trauma, grief. Those are big deals. Let's say you're going through a work transition. That's a big deal. How to get through that honestly, but productively in a way where you're feeling powerful. So that's self. Then next is work/business. And the biggest things here are identifying what you're here for really, and learning what I feel like are the 3 most important skills in business. I talked about these. I've done 3 calls over the last 3 weeks related to every part of this program. The second call was business, and it's all about storytelling, sales, and marketing. Literally, how to sell without feeling afraid. How to sell so that you have ease in your conversations. How to sell so you're not afraid of your product or pitching yourself, or you just feel good and confident in that process. How to not be afraid of pricing, okay? How to price properly. So sales. the whole kit and caboodle around sales. I could spend a year just on a sales program, and in fact, I may. But this is all three of those components. The second business skill is storytelling and marketing. Literally the foundation. I mean, all three are the foundation, but marketing is how you talk about what you do. How are you connecting with other people? Okay, this is list building, your website, creating like your freebie. Sometimes people call it a freebie, or your opt-in for your website. This is really about what is your engine, the highest impact marketing engine you could have for what you want to do for your business. Okay, systems for marketing. Systems for pitching yourself, systems for what to do all day. You wake up on a Monday morning and instead of freaking out, you actually do the things you need to do. What's your system for that? And the third and final thing is systems. Wow, what a segue. Systems, okay? Systems for, I hate when I say K, like Valley Girl. Systems for business, systems for your personal life. And I really mean systems. What is your systems to getting leads? What are your systems to fulfilling for your clients? What are your systems in following up? What are your systems in on the back end of your business, with your vendors, with your software, with your team? What are you doing? And are you reinventing the wheel all the time? This is about taking all the shit that's stressing you out right now, like reinventing the wheel. Not having a plan, not knowing what you're going to focus on, feeling overwhelmed so that you focus on none of it and watch Netflix all day. Never do that. No, I literally always do that, okay? So, but I know how to move through it powerfully. And the third thing, so that's business, which is the second tool. And I teach you the skills that literally, it doesn't matter what industry you're in. You know how to sell, you know how to storytell and market, you know how to have systems. Any vertical you're going to be fine in, whatever business or entrepreneurship, if you're an entrepreneur, whatever business you want to pursue, you're going to be fine. Third thing, relationships, okay? Relationships and having boundaries with people, having love, having connection, having affinity with friends and family, not just negating or like annihilating relationships in your life. I had really shitty relationships with people for a long time because I was like so focused on my work. I didn't know how to have boundaries, but I wanted to be there for people, but I didn't know how. I didn't really know how to do friendship. It was all messed up. So what does it mean to love yourself powerfully? This is the third thing. Self-love, loving yourself powerfully, how to communicate, how to set boundaries, how to have hard conversations. This is really it brings it full circle, because life doesn't really mean anything otherwise if you're not living in a way where you're connected to people. Then you start to feel isolated and lonely and depressed. So this is about how to have relationships where you can show up your real self, where you can show up connected, where you can show up fully present while also still living a big life. Okay, so I don't remember anything, so I have to look at my notes for a second. Okay, so really this video is the introduction video to this program called Freedom to Thrive 2017. The next 2 weeks, I'm going to be giving you videos related to each one of these concepts that I've talked about. So maybe 5-6 videos in total. If you don't like me, if you don't like hearing these updates or getting this kind of content, please unsubscribe now. I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to be sending you videos for the next 2-3 weeks on this stuff. On this stuff specifically, because I feel like it's the most important thing I could teach anyone. I want to teach my entire family. I talk to them about it nonstop. If no one paid me ever for the rest of my life, and someone said, and I was in solitary confinement, with someone else, and they were like, the only things I need to know in life, it would be this stuff, for the most part. This is what I would teach. This is why I feel it's so important, okay? So this is what I'm going to be sharing for the next 3 weeks. So if you're not a fan, please just know I don't like being dishonest with, I'm not dishonest with you guys. I don't like pulling the wool over your eyes or doing anything. Like, I'm going to be sharing openly. If you want to hear about it, click the videos. If you don't want to hear about it, sayonara, sucker. No, you're not a sucker, but just unsubscribe, okay? Or don't watch. Let's see. the videos are going to be valuable, okay? They're not just going to be me talking like this as an introduction. This is the introduction. The videos are going to actually be giving you content. So the only way I can feel clear-hearted about announcing anything, about talking to you guys on video, is if I give you something to take away, a nugget that you can implement right in your life. All of those videos are going to be giving you that, whether it's about self, business, or your communication or relationships with others. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the URL down here. You also have the URL in the post, ishitagupta.com/freedom to thrive. I'm gonna link it below here, okay? And I would say if this is interesting to you, we go on retreats. We go to Costa Rica and we go to Tulum, Mexico. I really should do a second video about the curriculum. I'm gonna do that right now because this is so long. The curriculum and our retreats and what you get. Okay, so I'll do that next. I would say there's an application at the bottom of the page when you click on the link to go to the page. If this is interesting to you at all, if you want to spend time with me, if you want to spend time with like 8 to 9 amazing visionary women, that's what I'm calling them, or actually 8 amazing visionary people, I'm keeping it open, sign up. It's an application process because I'm very intuitive. Energy matters a lot to me. Your energy matters a lot to me. If we're gonna be spending this much time together and I'm coaching you and we're together and we're thriving in life, it matters who we are and if our energies gel. So fill out this application and then I look through them obviously. Or if you're interested and wanna email me, ishita@ishitagupta.com and we can talk, okay? I'm very open to talking and chatting and seeing what you're interested in, what you're not interested in, if it's a fit, etc. Okay? So I'm gonna do that. I'm only running this once this year. It's an 8-month program, so it only makes sense that it's once. But I want to make the rest of this year count. 100%. 100%. It's April. It's going to be May now. Let's make the rest of this year count. It's 100% still possible to thrive financially. Money is a big piece of the program. To thrive in your relationships, it's 100% possible. 2016 was probably the shittiest year of my life. Shittiest. In terms of relationships, business, I ended a relationship. I was just depressed. I was sad for like months on end. I stopped filming. I stopped talking to you guys. Everything is turned around, in part because it was a concentrated effort to heal and to put all these tools that I'm teaching in this program to use and together. I've been practicing them for over a decade, and it became so clear to me that these are the things that have made me thrive sustainably for the long haul over the course of a decade. They're not new, but they're insanely effective, okay? So that's all for me in this video. I'm gonna do another video, but sign up or apply to this. Go to the link. Just go to the link and do whatever you want after that. Go to the link, see if you want to apply, or email me to talk to me about it, okay? Thank you for listening. It's such a long video. Thank you for listening.